This 80-year-old woman dresses up carefully every day, just to attract young men's attention. This day she was blocked in the corner by a gangster, but the old lady wasn't afraid and kissed him straight up. The old lady grabbed the guy like crazy, scared his companion directly ran away, and what's even more perverted is yet to come. This day she met a handsome guy to rent a house, so she prepared breakfast for Bob. She deliberately licked the spoon while pouring the coffee, and then put it back in the cup. She brings the coffee to the guy, watching Bob drink the coffee mixed with her saliva. The old lady instantly showed a pouty face, and even more disgusting. While Bob was eating, she sneaked into the room and opened Bob's personal belongings. She deliberately stained the items with her own scent. Finally, she picked up a toothbrush and sniffed it, and put it directly into her mouth. She enjoyed it while thinking about Bob. It was really disgusting. But there was a sudden noise from outside. She immediately put the toothbrush back. Bob, however, only saw the old lady helping him change the sheets, and Bob thanked the old lady very much. And right after Bob left, the old lady delicately sniffed his used sheets. After learning that Bob likes to watch football games, she spent a lot of money to install a TV, fantasizing about marrying Bob and having children. It's outrageous. When Bob came home in the evening, she waited at the door like a wife, and Bob didn't even realize it. He simply thought the old lady was hospitable and kind. The day came when the gangsters came back for more, and Bob saw them. They were about to leave when Bob stopped them. He warned them not to come back, but the gangsters didn't stop. They greeted Bob's mother with affection. This made Bob angry and knocked them down. Looking at Bob, who stood up for her, the old lady thought he was so handsome. She took Bob as her husband. At night she sent the story to her pen pal. As they spent more and more time together, she actually called Bob to the bathtub and asked him to help pass the towel. This made Bob very embarrassed. That day Bob was getting ready to go out. The old lady was dressed in an age-appropriate outfit. She wanted to ride Bob's motorcycle to town. Bob was shocked by her outfit. He had to find an excuse to turn her down. After all, he didn't want the girls to see the old lady. Then she wrote a letter to her pen pal, lying that Bob had taken her out for a ride. They had a very romantic day. At dinner the old lady changed her outfit again so gaudy and ill-fitting. Bob couldn't even look up at her. Then she got a call from her pen pal, because her pen pal was on a trip, and she was passing through for a couple of days, so she wanted to stay here for a few days. The next day, there was a beautiful woman knocking at the door, and it was the old lady's pen pal, Sarah, and as they chatted, the old lady was always shy about Bob, but when Sarah asked about where Bob was from, the old lady didn't know anything. All she knew was that Bob went out a lot, and always came back in the middle of the night. This instantly aroused Sarah's curiosity. In the evening, Bob and Sarah met for the first time. They were fascinated by each other's looks, but in the end, neither one of them initiated an invitation. Until that night, Sarah heard a noise from downstairs. At first she thought it was a burglar, but when she got downstairs, she realized it was Bob, because he had a bruise on his face. Apparently he'd been in another fight. Sarah offered to put ice on it. The atmosphere started to get steamy, and Bob grabbed Sarah's hand. The fire in their hearts was instantly ignited. They went back to Sarah's room. They spent 3 passionate minutes together.